But don't look now. Has already attained 7 victories on the year. That makes this a more intriguing matchup than originally thought. Hi, folks. Thanks for joining us alongside Josh Brown. Mike Morgan with you here on CSS. And, Josh, as we just mentioned, this game all of a sudden becomes a lot more important than it would have looked on the schedule at the beginning of the season.
That's right, Mike. Carolina's got to dig down deep today and get their 6th win, which would secure a bowl, and then maybe look forward to next week to secure a better bowl.
Both these teams featuring some playmakers. South Carolina has a quarterback heating up in Blake Mitchell. Meanwhile, Middle Tennessee State's Damon Nixon has been sizzling all year long.
That's right, Mike. Damon Nixon's a kickoff return specialist, averaging 35.4 yards a return and 2 TDs. And for Carolina, Blake Mitchell has just been on fire the past 2 weeks. He has been averaging 135 yards passing per game and completing 66% of his passes.
This ball game will also mark the return of former Gamecock recruiting coordinator Rick Stockstill. The Gamecocks not looking to be gracious hosts. It's the Gamecocks and the Blue Raiders of Middle Tennessee State, and it's coming up next on CSS. And welcome to Williams-Brice Stadium in Columbia, South Carolina, alongside Josh Brown. Mike Morgan with you here on CSS. As we take a look at both coaches' first, Rick Stockstill making the trip from Murfreesboro, Tennessee, his first season as the head coach, of Middle Tennessee State, a 7-3 mark. That is the most amount of victories for the Blue Raiders in 59 years. Of course, he was at Carolina for a couple of years. Steve Spurrier in his second year with the Gamecocks, 12-10 now. Overall, he's in the midst of a 3-game losing streak, the longest that he's had since his days with the Duke Blue Devils. Kickoff is fielded at the 1-yard line by the Blue Raiders and past the 25 and out to the 27-yard line for MTSU is Damon Nixon, who we highlighted in the beginning. Jared June on the tackle, one of the 12 seniors in the ball game here today for Carolina. We'll talk about that as the game progresses. A man that just returned the kick, one of the best kickoff men in the country, with an astounding average of nearly 35 yards per kickoff return. So if you can keep him inside the 30, you've done your job. Quint Marks, the starting quarterback for the Blue Raiders, a senior out of Fort Myers, Florida. Middle Tennessee State starts off in the 3-wide set. The lefty, Cox back, fires deep downfield, has a man caught at the 40, the 30, the 20, the 10, the 5, and do you believe this? One play, 6 points, touchdown Blue Raiders. 73 yards. 73 yards on the opening play as the pass is complete by Desmond G. Desmond G, the 5'8" freshman out of Greenville, Florida. He's a running back by trade, but comes out and finds himself open down the near sideline.
That's incredible, Mike. What a way to start the game, especially coming in to an environment as hostile as this one can be.
Colby Smith on to attempt the extra point. He is good. And Middle Tennessee State takes 30 seconds to get 7 points. Another look.
I'm telling you what, I mean, the offensive line did a great job for him because he had plenty of time, and he just hits one-on-one coverage, and he just put the ball where it needed to be. Over top his outside shoulder. South Carolina's in a man-to-man coverage, and the running back just all out, just beats Stoney Woodson here and takes it to the house.
It has been a rough year for Stoney Woodson. When he has been in position, he's deflected a lot of balls into the hands of the opponent. This time, he's just flat out beat.
Yeah, there's not much you can say about this one. It's just a foot race, and he beat him coming out the backfield and never caught up.
How about the throw by Quint Marks? That was right on the money. Hit him in stride, right in the hands. He's fired up. And this Blue Raider squad, again, it's a team that already hung tough with Louisville, one of the top teams in the country, for a half before Louisville kind of poured it on in the second half. Rick Stockstill has them believing they are already one of the surprise teams in the country. Folks, so we warned you in the open, and we'll continue to do so. This is not Florida Atlantic. This is not your typical 1A cupcake. I know Middle Tennessee State doesn't exactly have the sound of a big-time program, but they certainly have had a successful year. They're trying to win the Sun Belt. They'll play Troy next week. If they beat Troy, they're on to the New Orleans Bowl. So they're in good shape for a bowl game. Carolina needs one more victory to get to one. And a lot of people have circled this game as that 6th win, as Captain Munnerlyn fields it. And he is plowed down at the 23-yard line. That is J.K. Sabb, 5'11" senior out of Augusta, Georgia, the linebacker, making the special teams tackle. Blake Mitchell and company will come out for the Gamecocks. Mitchell, 72 of 109, 810 yards. But really, Blake Mitchell's story this year has been kind of a roller coaster. And if you take a look at what he's done in the last 6 quarters against 2 of the top teams in the country, Arkansas and Florida, he's 39 of 54, 488 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Again, that completion percentage, 66%. Mitchell with a quick drop, finds Sidney Rice. Who else? 25. Spin move at the 28, lunges forward past the 30. And that'll be a gain of about 7 yards on 1st and 10. Starting lineup for the Gamecocks led by Chris White in his 39th start for Carolina. The weapons that Blake Mitchell will be working with, Corey Boyd. Mike Davis is banged up. Look for a lot of Corey Boyd in this ball game as well as Sidney Rice and Kenny McKinley really coming on of late, Josh.
That's right.
Second down and a short three. An orbit motion, but instead they gave us up the middle, and that should be a first down for Corey Boyd. Blue Raiders starting defense. Not a whole lot of headliners on this team, although look for the ends, Jones and Mosley. A couple of sack artists there. Their linebacking core, we already mentioned J.K. Sabb's name on a special teams tackle. And in the secondary, among others, Damon Nixon, who actually picked off 4 Louisiana Lafayette passes in one game earlier this year. First and 10 from 36. Mitchell drops back, has time, throws over the middle, complete to McKinley at the 45. McKinley, ball is jarred loose. That's a fumble, and Middle Tennessee State has it. McKinley got his bell rung after the catch. Looked like he had possession, and no hesitation by the officiating crew. They immediately mark it Middle Tennessee State's ball.
Well, Mike, Blake's really coming alive the past 2 games, and he kind of steps up here in the pressure and makes a good throw on top of underneath coverage. And Kenny, he got banged pretty good there in between 2 defenders. Seems like it's his leg or his ankle the way he's favoring.
Look at the hit here by number 8.
That's
got sandwiched.
Yeah, he sure did. Yeah, it's such a tough catch for a receiver coming across the middle like that, and the quarter, Blake didn't help him out very much by hanging him out to dry, so he was kind of off balance, and that wouldn't help the offense at all, since Kenny has been doing such a great job this season so far.
Jonathan Harris is the safety, number 8. And then on the other end of that sandwiching tackle was 45, Sean Mosley, a defensive end who was deep downfield. And McKinley, very sure-handed, not exactly a guy that has a bad reputation of putting the ball on the ground, just unable to hold on there. So Middle Tennessee State, 1 play, a touchdown. Carolina, a couple of plays and a turnover. And already Middle Tennessee State with a 7-0 lead and the football.
Mike, today I was really excited to see how Savell Newton and Blake were going to respond to the loss last week. I spoke with Savell briefly before the game, and just saying, the end is here before you know it. And when you come in as a freshman, 5 years goes by so quickly that you're playing your last game before you know it. You got to say, oh, I got to leave everything out on the field. This is the last time I ever play on this field. So I'm excited to see what Savell does today, and also with Blake, he's come alive so far this season. And the first pass of the game has been a completion.
And let's face it, Josh, let's be honest about things. I think a lot of people were concerned about a Florida hangover. The way this team lost a week ago in Gainesville, such a great game, finished by a rather sickening third blocked kick. And so senior day, early game, still thinking about that Florida game perhaps. Carolina has not looked sharp here in the early going as the Blue Raiders have been staked to an early 7-0 lead. Screen pass right side and weaving his way past midfield into Carolina territory is Eugene Gross. We'll talk a lot about that man. Jordan Lindsay on the tackle. Gross, their leading carrier. As we take a look at the starting lineup for the Blue Raiders, the offensive line led by the anchor, the center, Paul Cantrell, a senior out of Georgia. It is a running team, to say the least. Eugene Gross, we're going to call his name a bunch of times today. Mississippi, or rather Middle Tennessee State, is one of the worst passing teams in the country, but that is in large part due to the fact that they've been able to run on everybody thus far this year. Gross already has 825 yards on the season. He gets it again, tries to spin his way out of trouble. He'll be right near the first down marker, which is at the 48. For the Gamecocks defensively, with all the talk of Jasper Brinkley, his twin brother Casper has quietly had a very solid year, 9.5 tackles for loss. Of course, Jasper Brinkley, one of the top tacklers in the SEC, 77 to be exact, and the secondary led by Fred Bennett. And Josh, we were talking about this before the break. Fred Bennett, an all-SEC candidate, but he hasn't had an interception since week 2.
That's right, Mike. He's been struggling this year, and there's a couple big plays that have been the determining factor for that.
Jasper Brinkley, 3 sacks to go along with those 9.5 tackles for loss. They're trying to be in that Blue Raider backfield throughout the day. Somebody got in the backfield. It's his brother, Jasper. Trips up Eugene Gross. No gain on the play. Chris Hampton is in the game at safety right now. Savell Newton not out on the field at the moment, although that's going to change right now as the substitutions come in on second down. Cook will join him in the secondary. That man, Jasper Brinkley, well, where would this defense be without him?
He is a great player for the Carolina defense.
Second down, 10 yards to go. Clint Marks and the Blue Raiders going to work out of a shotgun here on a 3-wide formation. Carolina rushing 4. 7 back in coverage. The lefty triggers and misses wide outside. That ball nowhere close. Might have been a mix-up on the route. And they set up a 3rd down and long. Bobby Williams, a 6'3 sophomore, the intended target. He leads the team with 29 receptions on the year.
Well, I tell you what, Mike, being with Coach Stockstill last year and him being on the staff of Carolina, the odds are in Middle Tennessee's favor right now. I mean, he knows Spurner, he knows his offense, he knows the defense, and he is a smart enough guy to where he knows where to hurt Carolina. And not only that, he knows each individual player.
3rd and 10. Back to pass. Boy, he had Sapp on him. Pass is deflected by Fred Bennett. Incomplete. Casper Brinkley was applying some pressure there. And Casper and Jasper, the stars of that drive.
Well, Carolina got great pressure on the quarterback, Marks, here, to flush him out of the pocket. That was that Casper or Jasper?
Casper.
Casper. I get confused all the time. But anyways, flushed out and made him make a throw on the run, which is probably not the likelihood of the throw that Coach Stockstill wants.
On about every other play, you could just say Brinkley, and the odds will be in your favor that you're right. It's one of the Brinkley boys are making a play. McKinley trying to make a play on the punt return, but spun down quickly at the 12. Sean Mosley on the stop. Gamecock ball when we return. 10:19 to go, first quarter. It's the Blue Raiders 7, the Gamecocks nothing. Well, a false start penalty on Middle Tennessee State will back them up 5 as Rick Stockstill's crew will repunt here. Gamecocks should get better field position out of it. McKinley parked at the 15. A wobbly kick fielded at the 15, and he is absolutely clobbered right there. And you hear some boos. The fans have been tired of shoddy punt returns and kick returns all year long. That's not McKinley's fault. Nobody blocking there, Josh.
No, and that was a very, very close call here. I mean, I don't even think he had the ball for more than half a second. Now that's tough right there. I mean, Kenny did a great job. We are not even through the first quarter, and this kid's been banged around 4 different plays in a row. I just hope he can last through the game.
Yeah, no kidding. It's been a tough 5 minutes for McKinley. Keep in mind now, the college game got rid of the halo rule a couple of years ago. A few years ago, that would have been a penalty because it got within the 2-yard radius. But now you can go ahead if you time it perfectly, which Middle Tennessee State did there. If you time it perfectly, you have a right to get in that close as long as he touches the ball first, which McKinley did. So it's Carolina ball, 1st and 10. From the 15-yard line, and Josh said this Gamecock team needs to snap out of whatever funk they came in with, start playing some football here.
That's right. I think what Coach Murray will probably do here is try to go to Sidney right off the bat, and you know, Coach Murray is not one to try to eat up a clock and try to run the ball and do a lot of this and that to try to set up something. He's a guy that goes after something. He likes to throw the ball, so I see them coming out right now and just starting to air it out.
And if you just joined us, you're wondering how in the world MTSU got after this early 7-0 lead. Well, on the very first play for the Blue Raiders, Marks hitting the back, streaking down the near sideline. Desmond G, 73 yards. One play, 73 yards, 30 seconds off the clock, and that man pretty happy with the way his team has played, also causing a turnover, a fumble by Kenny McKinley. Josh, you had a chance to play for Rick Stockstill when he was here at Carolina for a couple of years. Just talk about the man.
Hey, just a very, very great guy, and on top of that, very personable and relates very, very well to the players. He has not only been at Clemson but also at Carolina, so he knows the state very well. He's been recruiting coordinators for both schools, so right there, that just goes to show you that he's got the personal skills to relate to players. Now, the advantage that he has against us is that he knows each individual player and knows their talent level, which helps his team out tremendously.
Now, a lot of these players, Preston Garnett, recruited by one Rick Stockstill. Mike West into the game for the first time today. He gave us to Corey Boyd, right side, and the hole was plugged quickly after a couple of yards. Marcus Brandon, a senior linebacker out of Clarksville, Tennessee, on the stop.
Yeah, there's a great hit by number 39 here coming up. Corey Boyd trying to elude him and spin around to get the extra couple yards.
Second down and 6 yards. Boyd, the lone back. Mitchell under Chris White, the center, in his 39th career start for Carolina. Mitchell, another quick pass play to Sidney Rice. Gets a good block from West on the outside. Tripped up at the 25 and surges forward to about the 27-yard line. That will be a first down. Damon Nixon helps bring him down.
You know, being Coach Spurrier, you have to go to this kid. He makes so many things happen. So what do? You throw two quick screens to him and let him get 10 yards a pop on it. I mean, he's saying we're gonna force Middle Tennessee to come up and play him. And you know, Sidney's beating so many people with the fade and just jumping over top of them and making great catches that he's using this play now.
It's the same pass play that they used all day long against Florida. Gators really never adjusted. And right now they're playing off of Rice again. Mitchell just beats the game clock, or play clock rather, gets it off to Corey Boyd on what might have been an audible gain of about 3 to the right side. It'll be 2nd and 7. Eric Walden with the tackle. He's the all-time Middle Tennessee State sack leader with 16.
Let me tell you what, Mike, Corey Boyd is a man. He is just a flat-out man, and playing with him, he is such a tough runner. As you see, he doesn't go down easily. One guy usually doesn't take Corey Boyd down.
Boyd this time runs out to the left side as a receiver. Mitchell, 7-step drop, looking deep, and it's not there, as McKinley could not get past Bradley Robinson on the coverage.
This time Blake had to be forced to make a throw quick. Got some pressure from the Middle Tennessee defense, and kind of got banged in there by his own offensive lineman. But we'll see this today from the past 2 games how alive Blake's come, and see if he can carry on that swagger that he has so far.
3rd down and 6 for the Gamecocks. Jared Cook into the game as receiver. Carolina sends out 5, throws complete. Past the 40, past the 45, and it'll be another first down for the Gamecocks, and there is Jared Cook. Well, it's been a while since he's caught a pass. Reggie Doucette in on the tackle.
Sure has been. Jared Cook is one of those kids that is young and is still going to be a huge impact on the offense in later years. He's just a big kid, and a lot of people compared him last season when he got redshirted to Sidney Rice, just jumping over people, making catches. And hopefully he can come through and be that kind of receiver for Carolina.
Just the 5th catch of the year for Cook. Mitchell already 4 of 5. Guns over the middle. Complete. McKinley stole it away at the 30. Makes a couple of moves. It popped and dropped from behind at the 32. Boy, Kenny McKinley might suffer a handful of concussions before this game is over.
I'm going to tell you what, Coach Spurrier Jr. has really emphasized how tough of a kid Kenny is. Actually takes the ball away from the Middle Tennessee guy and throws him down, backs away, gets him down. Now a guy comes from behind and just nails him. And I'm telling you, like you said, if he doesn't suffer some injury by the end of this game, he is one tough individual.
Out wrestling Bradley Robinson for the football, gain of 21. Mitchell goes over the middle for McKinley again, and this time led him a little bit too far. Kenny got one hand on it, but couldn't haul it in. Damon Nixon, the talented safety for the Blue Raiders, on the coverage.
You know, Coach Spurrier looking at this right now, being 2nd and 10 on the 32. Would not like to come away from this drive with a field goal. I think he's flat out tired of field goals. You know, Ryan Suckup is a great tool for him, but there just comes to a point where you got to say, we got to get the ball in the end zone.
That's still one of the most amazing stats to me this year is a Steve Spurrier offense dead last in the SEC in red zone offense. They're not quite in the red zone yet, trying to get there here on 2nd and 10. Mitchell fires, complete at the 21-yard line. Short pass there to Mo Brown. Make it Freddie Brown. Freddie Brown's really picked up his play. Redshirt freshman of Duncan, played for Burnham High School.
And Blake is just coming alive. I'm telling you, this is a great pass, putting it right in the pocket, right to where a defender can't get to it. Freddie Brown can catch the ball, and Freddie Brown's not one to be talking about like a Sidney Rice, but is doing his fair share of receiving this year.
Well, he's become that number 3 guy, Josh, that this team has sorely lacked for most of the year. Mo Brown still on the field as Freddie Brown takes a break. Sidney Rice catches at the 20, tries to change direction at the 17, but an ankle tackle will bring him down.
Sidney was trying to make one too many things happen there. Coach Spurrier explaining his frustration with him. He said, just hit it up the sideline right here. Don't dance. Don't take it back to the middle of the field where the rest of the defense is. Hit it up the sideline where you got a seam and make something happen.
Damon Nixon holding on for dear life to stop him. Sidney Rice coming into this game with 50 catches, 7 touchdowns. He's already on top of the leaderboard all time in a number of statistical categories. Mitchell to the end zone. Dropped the penalty flag on the play. Mike West had it in his hands, could not hold on. Would have been 6. Let's find out what the penalty marker is all about. Mike West, who was used sparingly for the first half of the year, they've gotten him involved more here in the second half.
Holding. Defense, number 8, against an eligible receiver before the pass was thrown. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Well, that really helped out Carolina's offense. Take another look. Blake dropping back and delivering a good ball. Just Mike West couldn't hold on to it.
It was away from West. Jonathan Harris, number 8.
Blake still receiving a lot of pressure from the Middle Tennessee defense. Getting frustrated. He's delivering throws, but the guy didn't make the catch for him.
And as Andy Boyd just enters the game, he jumps early, but I don't even know if the referee whistled the ball ready to go, so that's not even a penalty. Andy Boyd very anxious to make something happen. Hey, Boyd actually caught a pass against Florida. That was the first time he caught a pass since the opener against Central Florida a year ago. Boyd spins out of one tackle before being brought down to the turf at the 7. It'll be second down. First down marker is actually at the 1-yard line. Justin Rainey, senior out of Rock Hill, makes the tackle. Those Rock Hill, South Carolina boys, even if they're overlooked by the hometown states, a number of them have made journeys elsewhere.
You know, Coach Simpson was a Rock Hill boy as well.
Coach Simpson, Jonathan Joseph. George has had a few talented guys from Rock Hill, including the tight end, Ben Watson. Second down and 6. Boyd trying to dance out of trouble. Plows forward to the 5. It's going to be 4 yards shy of a first down, 5 yards shy of a touchdown.
You know, this is where Coach Spurrier is getting frustrated because he wants to just punch the ball in there. This is not the actual part of the field where he is able to utilize a passing game because he's so close to the end zone. And, you know, you can see his frustration right now, just wanting to punch it in there.
Third down and timeout call. Want to make sure everybody's on the right page. 4 minutes, 8 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Gamecocks trailing by 7, but threatening here in Columbia. Review the matchup against Middle Tennessee and get ready for next week's showdown with the Clemson Tigers on the Steve Spurrier Show Wednesday at 5 o'clock on CSS. Third down, 4 yards to go for a first. Spurrier would like to get 5 and get it in the end zone. What are we looking at here, Cal?
Well, third down and 4. I would say throw the flare pass to Sidney and let him make one move and get in the end zone on his own.
Well, Sidney's at the bottom of your screen right now. Instead, they go to Boyd on the draw. And he breaks the tackle and punches it into the end zone. Corey Boyd, second and third effort, gets him into the promised land. That was all Corey as he had to break free from a couple of would-be tacklers, including Bradley Robinson. Boyd, too strong, too powerful, and the Gamecocks have 6 on the board.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about with Corey Boyd being a strong runner. He can break 2-3 tackles and still get 5 yards when nobody blocks for him. So.
Suck up on and kick the extra point. It's Wallace this year, 20 of 20 now on the PAT. Another look.
Another look here. There's breaks 1 tackle and breaks 2 tackles, breaks 3 tackles, and he gets in. And he's just a tough runner. He's just give the ball just ISO off tackle, and he's just one of those guys that you just enjoy to have. I mean, that was a great job of putting his hand down.
Corey Boyd with his 5th rushing touchdown of the year. Tied at 7, and we're back in a moment on CSS. Now, South Carolina got off to a slow start in this game, and the Gamecocks tying it up with an impressive drive. 12 plays, 85 yards, 6 minutes and 5 seconds off the clock, capped off by the Corey Boyd touchdown run. And that's the kind of drive Steve Spurrier has seen more and more of here in the last few weeks. Long, sustained drives. As the kickoff is fielded at the 5 to the 20. Beautiful tackle there by Lindsey. Stopped at the 23-yard line. Damon Nixon, who told you how dangerous he is, but not there. Averaging over 35 yards a kickoff return, but Jordan Lindsey stopped him in his tracks.
That's right. The whole kickoff team for Carolina did a great job right there of eluding the kick return blockers and coming up making a great tackle on the dangerous return man.
Now let's see how the Blue Raiders respond now. Momentum shift here late in the first quarter of play. Staggered eye look. Give us to Gross. Big hole up the middle. Pumps into one of the officials. And give the guy in the striped jersey the tackle there. That was actually DeMarco McNair, the backup running back. And McNair wasn't expecting the official to make the tackle.
He was expecting the official to get out of the way. And what do you do with Middle Tennessee? You run the ball and you get back to basics, but can't do much when the referee gets in the way.
That's a good hit. Got right back up, too, like it was nothing. I think that was the umpire. Usually he's the guy that finds himself in a lot of traffic. Speaking of traffic, trouble on a handoff. Ball goes to the ground, but the Blue Raiders do recover it. McNair on another carry here.
That's the Carolina defense starting to smell a little blood now. Now we have two kind of plays that haven't gone Middle Tennessee's way, and now they're trying to get where they can actually make a stand on their defense and begin to shut them down.
Third down, 6 yards to go. Ball at the 27-yard line. Brinkley showing blitz on the edge. And Carolina brings it. Quick pass play, incomplete. Clint Marks saw the blitz coming and rushed the throw. So the Blue Raiders will be forced to punt the football.
That was just seemed like a miscommunication, or the quarterback didn't know exactly what was going on with Middle Tennessee and threw it to where he thought the receiver was going to be and ended up not being there.
Colby Smith on to punt it away, averaging 40.9 per punt. Takes a bounce at the 35 and goes out of bounds. McKinley had no chance to recover that one. There's too many white jerseys racing at him. So good field position for the Gamecocks with 1:55 remaining in the first quarter of play, tied at 7. Blake Mitchell off to a good start for Carolina, 7 of 9, 90 yards. And he's been incredibly accurate here. We go back to the second half of that Arkansas game when he put on a clinic, and then that Florida game, Steve Spurrier said that's the best game that Blake Mitchell has played in his career, and hard to argue. He was just so precise against one of the top defenses in America. First down and 10 from the 33. Mitchell dumps it off to the back. That's Boyd. Boyd spins at the 40. Boyd tries to break through at the 45. Boyd with some nifty moves at midfield. Boyd breaks out of another tackle. Boyd still on his feet. Boyd cuts back at the 25. Boyd at the 20. Boyd inside the 15 and marked it down. Best run of the year, hands down.
Oh man, this play's got out of their seat quick, didn't they, Mike? What an incredible run.
52 yards. And let's take another look. This one will be worth looking at again.
Oh, what a great play call. Screen. Lineman downfield. Boy, he's just juking people out of their shoes. They don't know what to do. I mean, I don't know what to say. He just broke so many tackles right there. He might have broke all 11 defenders' tackles on the way to the end zone.
I'm with you, Josh. I don't think words can really describe that play. Incredible moves by Corey Boyd. Now Taylor Rank with a rare carry. You remember Taylor Rank. He had over 100 yards against Florida Atlantic, but we haven't seen him since.
That's right. That's right. Well, I guess when you got somebody like Corey Boyd that makes a run just like he did, I don't think you see too much of Taylor Rank.
You saw it. Corey Boyd was averaging 10 yards of reception. That number is going to be augmented just a bit, but a 52-yarder. If you join us late, Mike Davis out of this game. So Taylor Rank getting an opportunity. That's him sprinting to the bottom of your screen, lined up at receiver. Mitchell in the pocket, throws, complete, touchdown, Andy Boyd. His third career catch, 3 of them have been touchdowns.
There's Andy Boyd for you, coming through when it counts. Like you say, not making very many catches, but catching the ball when it's thrown to him. He's really struggled with injuries, though, Mike. And he's a kid that deserves it, because you can ask any coach on the coaching staff, and he is one of the hardest working individuals on the team.
He found his way into the end zone wide open as the extra point is true. And the Gamecocks take the lead 14-7. We'll keep it here. Josh, it's hard to argue with the ratio for Andy Boyd. The guy makes 4 catches and 3 of them in the end zone.
You know, I can't really remember, Mike, going back to throwing the ball to the tight end.
Right.
I mean, even this season, even with Spurrier and even going back before Spurrier got here, with Skip and Lou, they never threw the ball to the tight end either.
Right.
So it's just a tight end is rare to come by for Carolina to throw the ball to.
Yeah, I nearly fell out of my seat last week calling the Gamecocks game against Florida, and you had 2 catches by 2 different tight ends. Pavlovic caught a ball and Boyd caught a ball. But that is very rare as you see the scoring drive. A lot quicker than the last one, just 3 plays. A minute 43 off the clock. Andy Boyd, 15 yards on the touchdown reception. But Steve Spurrier really has never used the tight end much going back to Duke and Florida either. So you've got a coach that doesn't have a history of using the tight end and a program that hasn't used a tight end in a long time.
Right.
But the element of surprise working wonders there. Beautiful day here in Columbia. Temperatures in the upper 50s. Nothing but sunshine and blue skies. As the Gamecocks trying to pick up victory number 6. Get that elusive bowl eligibility. Andy Boyd, you played with him, Josh. Good kid.
Yeah, he's a great kid. You know, really been hassled by those knees. I tell you, he's torn them and torn, I think, the same one again.
Here's Nixon again from the goal line. Nixon finds a lane, as he often does. Penalty flag comes down late as Nixon still on his feet. Finally spun down. That's going to be a face mask at the 37-yard line. So 2 penalties. One's going to be on the Blue Raiders, and then the face mask on Carolina.
You know, it's such a great momentum booster for the offense to be able to start out on the 40-yard line or even the 35. Getting a great kickoff return really, really helps out. Instead of having to do the 80 and 90-yard drives from not getting a good return, instead you're looking at 60 and 70-yard drives and could, you know, determine whether or not you would score or not on a certain drive.
Damon Nixon, who's their kickoff return man, his first return ever came against Louisville, and he took it to the house for a touchdown. So from that point on, he's just had the magic, showed some more of it there, but this one's not going to hold up, I don't believe. That was the final play, incidentally, of the first quarter. There's the holding penalty, and of course the face mask the other way. You'll want to stay tuned as we go to break, because we're going to take another look at that Corey Boyd catch and run. Maybe the play of the year for the Gamecocks in terms of style points. This will take a little bit of time to sort out as the referee talking things over with Middle Tennessee State head coach Rick Stockstill. Our referee today is Jeff Roberson.
Receiving team. There's an incidental face mask, 5 yards against the kicking team. Those penalties will offset, and we will re-kick.
And we're going to re-kick it, so it'll be an untimed down here to finish out the first quarter.
This could work in the favor for Carolina. You know, Mike West, the past two times down on kickoff, has really been the first guy down there and really busted up those personal protectors for the return man. So he's a guy to look out for, I would think, on this kickoff to come in and make a big play.
Right. You know, as I look down there, Mike West, I see Fred Bennett. Coach Spurrier said a couple weeks ago he was so tired of seeing bad return coverage that he was going to get some more of his frontline players involved than he has. And Carolina will go ahead and re-kick this thing. And it looks like they're going to re-kick it to start off the second quarter. As we hear Carolina girls playing in the background, that has become the official sign that the first quarter has come to an end, Josh.
Mike, you took the words right out of my mouth. Please tell me how you feel about hearing this song in a football game after the first quarter.
Josh, I'm not going to touch that one with a 10-foot pole, but I'd love to hear your comments on that.
Well, I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to leave it alone as well.
You've been down there. I mean, I don't know what it's like to hear music, to be motivated by that, but we'll find out as we go to break and get ready for quarter number 2. Another look at the magical feat of one Corey Boyd. Mike Morgan, Josh Brown back with you here as the official start of the second quarter. We'll begin with another kickoff return for Middle Tennessee State, but it will be no return at all as Suckup gets it about 5-6 yards
deep into the end zone, and a flag goes down at the 23. What possibly could this be?
It came in late, so we'll see.
Rick Stockstill about to implode.
Doesn't look very happy. It looks like it's going to be against Middle Tennessee.
On the kick, illegal block in the back, number 30, the receiving team. 10-yard penalty will be enforced from the 20-yard line, first down.
I'm not a professional lip reader, but I can make out at least one of the words that Rick had to say about that call. One of the things, Josh, that's more frustrating than anything, if you're going to pick up an illegal block, at least have a return on it. In that situation, you're just giving up 10 yards.
Yeah, and, you know, we've seen opposite ends of the spectrum here, Mike. What a great return they had, and then now they had to re-kick it, and they get a penalty. So that's 30 yards at least right there that they don't get to see.
South end zone crowd at the back of Clint Marks, the quarterback of the Blue Raiders. Handoff up the middle. Spin move by McNair. And McNair with a solid run of about 7.5 yards. Jasper Brinkley with the tackle. First quarter stats. Carolina started off in a hole, but bounced back rather effectively. 181 total yards. That's one of the better numbers this year. 73 of those 87 yards from Middle Tennessee State came on the touchdown pass, the first play of scrimmage for MTSU, but since then the offense has sputtered. Kind of surprised we haven't seen more of Eugene Gross. I wonder if he's hurt a little bit. The backup, DeMarco McNair, is getting all the carries. Here he is again, probing the left side, but tackled. A nice ankle tackle there by Savell Newton, the newest safety in the Gamecock lineup.
And Savell, as we said before, is one of those athletes that you could put in any position on the field. Coming up, making a tackle on the running back, and you know, who would have known that he would have been on defense right now? He started off as a quarterback at the beginning of the year, and could be a bigger help to the team in the secondary. So that's where he is.
Now the third string running back we're seeing more of. That's Desmond G, who caught the touchdown earlier. He gets it between the tackles and scurries forward for a first down before Newton brings him down at about the 22. I have to believe Eugene Gross is banged up. He's the starter and has 10 touchdowns on the year, 825 yards. Since the opening drive, we've seen nothing but DeMarco McNair and Desmond G.
Yeah, Middle Tennessee is doing a great job of opening up holes for their running backs, and that's part of the reason they're not skipping a beat with their running game right now. They just need somebody to run the ball through the alleys that they're creating.
G goes in motion as the quarterback going to run it off right tackle. Tripped up after a gain of about 5. That's the backup quarterback, Joe Craddock, who has played in 7 games this year. It's not unusual to see him come in for a play or two.
Savell Newton came up and made a great hit on him. As a player, you're kind of leaving your body hanging out to dry when you leave your feet, and really are susceptible to being injured doing that kind of stuff. And Savell took advantage of it and played a good hit.
2nd and 5 at the 28-yard line. Give up the middle. And a good game for DeMarco McNair. He will be short of the first down. Jasper Brinkley racking up his total tackle total. And so he's already one of the league's leaders. McNair, 4.4 yards per carry. Joe Craddock, the backup quarterback, back in the game for the Blue Raiders. So musical quarterbacks, musical running backs for Rick Stockstill's crew on a 3rd down and 1. High formation. And he is stuck. McNair goes nowhere. That'll be a loss on the play.
The Gamecocks had that one sniffed out there, Mike. It looks like Paulk was the last man to get up. So Paulk and
Joel Reeves.
Joel Reeves. That's a new name.
Tyrone Nix, the defensive coordinator. Always working on the sideline, very animated. Nobody would ever accuse him as being an introvert down there. Punt on the way. McKinley has to rush forward the field at the 37. And will be stacked up at the 43-yard line. Jonathan Parks on the tackle. Another penalty flag on the play. We can't get a special teams play off without seeing a hanky thrown to the field.
It looks like they're going to signal they're going to decline it. Coach Stockstill is not very happy with his team in a special teams play right now. It's one phase that you cannot let up on if you're coming in trying to win this game.
Here's the call.
Illegal motion. The wide out from the kicking team. 5-yard penalty will be enforced at the end of the return. First down.
One of the new rules in college football, you can take it on the return. That's what Carolina will do as we head to break. Gamecocks up by 7 on CSS. Back with you here, Williams-Brice Stadium in Columbia. Gamecocks up 7 with the football. Good field position to start off this drive. Blake Mitchell operating under center. 2 receivers to his left. Mitchell looking deep. Now fires into double coverage and almost caught anyway by Sidney Rice. Oh, Nixon on the coverage.
Yeah, great field position starting off, and Coach Spurrier, you know, wants to see if he can take a shot for the end zone, but Sidney was double covered, and on top of that, Blake underthrew the ball, so didn't really work out in the favor of Carolina.
Well, you were saying during the break there you thought Spurrier would go for the jugular on the first play, and it looks like that was the plan.
Yep. Like I said, Coach Stockstill, he knows Spurrier and each individual player well enough to know that that's what he would do.
Now with a 4-wide look, Mitchell under a lot of pressure, a penalty flag and a sack. As a Middle Tennessee State able to get in on that offensive line. Looked like holding on the interior.
Personal foul. Illegal use of hands to the face. 97 on the defense. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Wow, big break there.
Yeah.
That's Trevor Jenkins, sophomore out of Macon.
Hey, look, here's a lot of pressure. Looks like they came at a defensive or corner blitz, but didn't really get a good look on the illegal use of hands to the face. And Coach Stock feels like he's getting the shaft on a lot of these calls so far.
Well, that is 5 penalties called against Middle Tennessee State now for 40 yards. The Gamecocks have not had a penalty called against them yet. First down and 10. Boyd tries the left side, breaks a tackle, trying to break free again, but this time extra support by the MTSU defense drops him down after a gain of 1.
Nice for Carolina to go in the locker room with, you know, a 14-21-point lead and come out and establish themselves in the second half and let them know that they're going to come out to play and, you know, are determined to win this game to get a bowl berth.
Freddie Brown into the game. Bottom of your screen. Gamecocks again will work the 9 formation behind Mitchell. Blitz coming. Mitchell going deep. As Rice spins, turns around, and can't hold on. That ball was underthrown again. Rice had to put on the brakes, tries to make another sensational catch, but could not hold on.
I tell you, if Blake puts that ball on his outside shoulder, that's a touchdown. And that's the second time now that he hasn't delivered the ball to Sidney where it needs to be. Right there, he puts the ball over his outside shoulder, it'd be a touchdown, but underthrows him, and you know, there might have been some contact, but the ball was in a place where it was able, the defense and the offense, to get to it, so it's kind of like a fair ball, and they're not going to make that kind of call.
A lot of times the officials, they're not going to give you the benefit of the doubt if the ball's underthrown like that. Mitchell from the pocket, throws complete at the 20, the 15, the 10, the 5. Rice dives, and he gets the call. Touchdown, Carolina. 21 career touchdown receptions for Sidney Rice. 37 yards.
It was a great thrown ball by Blake Mitchell. He put that ball on the money, and he put it on the money before Sidney had actually got to where the ball needed to be delivered to. So that was a great play.
Now in what has become mandate now, slow up the game for the replay, because it might be a huge call if he was out of bounds at the 3-inch line as opposed to the goal line. So let's slow up the game. Let's stop. Let's pretend like this game had any momentum whatsoever. And let's take 2 minutes of our time to review it. Another look, Josh.
You know, Blake stepping up. He had some pressure there. Like I said, he had to throw the ball where Sidney was going to be and not where he was. And I don't know about you, but it looks like he was in the end zone to me, coming off the ball. And that was right there, it was a great confusion play. Good call by Coach Spurrier. And Blake throwing a good ball, and Sidney doing a great job of getting the ball in the end zone.
The field judge there, Michael Williams, made the call. He was right there. Of course, he had to leave his feet to avoid being tackled by Sidney Rice. But again, I've been critical about this all year long, Josh. I think replay has a place in college football. I don't think it's to review plays like this.
No, I agree with you. You know, this is not a determining play in the game, and this just, like you said,
After further review, the play stand is called on the field, touchdown.
There we go.
They should listen to us more often.
Well, they should. The guy who's operating the replay system is looking at our views provided by CSS, the old DV sports system. So maybe they were listening to us crying uncle here to just stop reviewing every single minuscule call of the game. Suckup is getting some target practice. 3 of 3 now on the day. Gamecocks now up by 2 touchdowns. 21-7, 8:53 remaining in the first half of play. And we'll be back from Williams-Brice in just a moment. Get Auburn rebound from its loss to Georgia with a win over rival Alabama. Catch the Tigers and the Tide Sunday at 4, plus 6 other football replays this week on CSS. Of course, the Iron Bowl, one of the great rivalries in college football. Next week, we'll see another one as the Gamecocks take on the Clemson Tigers. You'll be able to catch the replay of that as well on CSS. So many great games to watch. Scoring drive for Carolina. 4 plays, 51 yards, 1 minute 38 seconds off the clock. Blake Mitchell hitting his favorite target. Sidney Rice, 37 yards. Pass play was about 15. Sidney Rice just took care of the rest with his legs. Sidney Rice, 21 career touchdowns. Already broke the school record held by Robert Brooks. And Sidney Rice earlier in the week, Josh, stating he wants to come back for his junior year. He could leave early. He's a redshirt sophomore, so by NFL rules, he is eligible. If he comes back, he'll not only own every record in the Gamecock receiving book, he will destroy every record that's left.
He's quite an individual, and I'm sure not only Spurrier, but everybody, and as far as Gamecock Nation, was happy to see and hear that he was coming back.
The kickoff return is blown up. Nixon thumped hard by Gerard Sinclair, redshirt freshman out of Jacksonville, Florida. We'll be hearing more of his name as the years go along. This team really so young. You know, there's 12 seniors being featured in this game today, but only 4 of them were offered a scholarship on their arrival, and 3 of them are Newton, Chris White, and Fred Bennett. I mean, Steve Spurrier's really had to do a lot of building early on with this program. 1st and 10, Marks on a rollout. Close, but it's dropped. And that's the back again, Desmond G., who caught the touchdown earlier.
Well, these are the kind of plays, Mike, that you can't afford to have being a visiting team coming in here. And if you want a chance at winning this game, being 14 points down, you can't make small errors like that. Drop passes, fumbles, penalties, special teams. you can't afford to do that kind of stuff.
Joe Craddock back in as the Blue Raiders continue to use their 2-quarterback system. And Eugene Gross goes back in the game. So they're leading back, returns to the field, gets the handoff, sprints forward at the 20, brings a tackler with him to the 25. It'll be a yard shy of the first down. Emmanuel Cook finally lassos him down.
Emmanuel Cook is one of those freshmen stepping up for Carolina on defense.
Emmanuel Cook out of Riviera Beach, Florida. Star running back in high school that has made the transition to the secondary as a true freshman. Third down and a yard. Gross, the deep back on a staggered eye look. Dutton, the fullback. Here's play action fake. Quarterback's going to keep it himself. And he's got it. Casper Brinkley puts the hit on Joe Craddock, but he finds the marker. And that's the first down for the Blue Raiders in a while.
Yeah, Craddock made a great play fake right there. You see him really sell that fake to the running back, which drew a lot of the defense to the run, and gave him the chance to actually pick up the first down. And I thought I saw him get up. He must have went back down on the ground.
He took a hit. Casper Brinkley started it, and Savell Newton finished them off.
Well, if there's any sort of the name of Brinkley involved, I would stay down and probably be out the rest of the game.
The Brinkley twins, another fine performance. You know, they both have 9.5 tackles for loss. That is far and away the top 2 marks on this team. And Savell Newton providing some assistance on that tackle as he continues to get a crash course on how to play the safety position.
Let's try to find out what exactly. Let's find out what happened to him at the end of the play here. Oh, man. Oh, man. That looks like he might have got knocked unconscious there.
Got his bell rung.
Lost his breath or doesn't know where he was. I have to go. Call me a wimp. But I tell you, if any of the Brinkleys hit me, I'd stay down and out for the rest of the game.
As you see, Craddock only goes 5'11", $188. He's in there to run more than pass. Kind of a speedster at the quarterback spot. He took a lick on that last play. First down and 10, empty backfield for the Blue Raiders. Norwood stays with him and wrestles him down. I thought that Marks was going to get out of that. Looked like he got some separation, but Eric Norwood, the talented freshman, stays on top and brings him down for a huge loss.
Yeah, and Mike, I'm gonna talk about Norwood here for a second. Out of all the defensive ends that I've seen come through here in Carolina history from being involved the past 5 years, George Goss, Darryl Slay, a lot of other guys that come to mind, they have all been very talented, had physical attributes, unbelievable. Eric Norwood, one of the smallest guys I've ever seen in defensive end, has been one of the most successful guys as a freshman.
And there's Norwood again applying pressure, and under duress, Marks just throws it away. So Norwood making his presence known on 2 straight plays. And I'd have to agree with you, just only as a freshman, Eric Norwood has played better than most defensive ends have in a while around here.
Yeah, and Coach Spurrier stresses a lot about we need pressure on the quarterback. Third down situations, we need pressure. And Eric Norwood is one of these freshmen, you know, that is actually doing this. And great future at Carolina, I think. I don't know. I think he'll be a great player for us.
Third down, a cheap cab ride, 21 yards to be exact. Gross gets the handoff on the draw. Penalty flag popped up in the air as Gross leads the play all the way to 33. That'll still be shy of a first down. And I imagine if this penalty is on Middle Tennessee State, which it is, that the Gamecocks will decline it. You could back them up some more and put a little more heat on them. But if you decline it, you force them to punt anyway.
Right. Yeah, I definitely think that they would push him back here and make him punt the ball to where they can gain you know, football is all about field position.
Right.
You know, and
Holding on the offense, number 57, half the distance to the goal. It remains third down.
Look for the right guard on this play, Josh. Marcus Gates.
right guard right there, holding on Jean-Pierre, it looks like, and taking him down to the ground. And
yeah, that was more than a hold. That was just a wrestling takedown.
yeah.
So,
Don't they have a category for that, for offensive linemen? Or is that deep? What is that?
yeah, pancake blocks if you're an offensive
There
line.
you go.
Of course, they only give you credit for it if you do it legally.
Yeah. Well, big third down here for Carolina, Mike.
3rd and 29. Play action. Marks. Last time. Triggers and misses. So it'll be 4th down. And now Middle Tennessee State will punt. Pass was intended for Desmond G again. Emmanuel Cook was there. You get nervous when you see Carolina defense on 3rd and long, because that's been a trouble spot all season long. Steve Spurrier has been very critical of his defense's inability to stop teams on 3rd and 15, 3rd and 21. Now that was a 3rd and 29. Who knows?
Look for Kenny to get a good return here. I mean, if he can get a good catch on this punt.
McKinley has to back up 10 yards to field it all the way to the 42. Gets a block from Cook, turns it outside, steps out of bounds, I believe. Penalty flags all over the place. They can't tell if they marked him out of bounds or not. No, they're going to give him that extra yardage, but it's not going to matter much because 3 flags go up at the same time.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Number 31, receiving team, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. 1st down.
You're going to see Gerard Sinclair on this penalty.
You know, this is just so frustrating, not only for a fan, but the coach.
Ladies and gentlemen, a reminder that there will be no pass
If the player is not in front, leave him alone. Let the returner time be. And the coaches try to stress that so much to the players, but the players just get so hung up on their guy making the tackle.
It's an 18-yard penalty, the first one of the day on Carolina. Gamecock football, and we return. Carolina leading at 21-7. Broadcasting live from Williams-Brice Stadium in Columbia. Mike Morgan, Josh Brown with you as the handoff goes up the middle. And that's Bobby Wallace, who we've seen sparingly this year, sophomore out of Conway, South Carolina.
Yeah, Bobby Wallace is one of those guys that hadn't really seen the field very much, but is still young. And I think, you know, he's still trying to develop as a college athlete. And he is not the biggest guy out there, but he's got to understand that he can still outplay them.
9 yards on that carry. Penalty flag on the play as Mitchell looking deep, and it's incomplete, intended for Rice, who was in the middle of double coverage there, including Reggie Doucette of Middle Tennessee State. And now a player down on the field, and that is Doucette. That's actually Damon Nixon on the ground. Doucette was in on the coverage with Nixon, but first the penalty.
Offside. Defense. Number 25, 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
5 yards will give him a 1st down.
We'll look at the replay here, and it looks like his landed funny on. Ooh, yeah, definitely. Got his leg kind of bent back over top of him. Yeah, he looks like he's going to be all right. If I was Coach Stock, I'd say, you're right, son. We need you on the kick returns.
Nixon was the Bronco Nagurski National Player of the Week after picking off 4 passes against Louisiana Lafayette. Did you ever win the Bronco Nagurski Award?
I sure didn't.
He also won the Walter Camp Award. There's so many awards out there now, I can't keep up. First down and 10 from the 42. Mitchell goes to the left side. McKinley, while slipping, makes the catch, sliding in safely at the 27-yard line. Harrison Doucette on the coverage.
Blake Mitchell just delivering a good ball here and putting the ball where the defenders can't get it. You know, it was low, but it was supposed to be low because both defenders were on each side of Kenny. Well thrown ball by Blake.
Blake Mitchell working some more magic here today. 11 out of 15, 209 yards, 2 touchdowns. Carolina dominating the first down category in this game as Wallace goes out to the left side. Mitchell, pass time, pump fake. Now going long for Rice. Jump ball. Rice brings it down. Touchdown. Unbelievable. Sidney Rice had no business making that catch, but somehow he does.
What a play. You know, you keep going to him, and looking at that play before the ball even got to Sidney, you were saying, oh no. But of course, going against my word, Sidney makes a tremendous play and comes down with the ball.
27 yards on the hookup as another extra point successful for Ryan Suckup. 28-7 now. Carolina leads as Sidney Rice is starting to heat up.
Blake just drops back and pump fakes once, and then will deliver the ball early so Sidney can adjust to it. And oh man, in traffic and everything, this kid has got everything as a receiver. And I think a lot of people in Columbia are so happy that this past week he's announced that he's coming back next year.
Yeah, that's the news of the week and one of the bigger news flashes of the year, as nobody wants to see number 4 go anywhere. 9 touchdowns on the year now for the sophomore out of Gaffney, South Carolina. And Blake Mitchell starting to find the rhythm. He's got 3 touchdown passes, 12 out of 16. Remember, Mitchell wasn't able to kind of pad up some stats against the likes of Florida Atlantic. He was out that ball game, but Middle Tennessee State, a more formidable defense, not SEC caliber perhaps, but I'm sure Blake's glad to be out there and be able to take some chances.
Yeah, and you saw Savell talking to Sidney a second ago. I think the comments from Savell were he didn't understand why Sidney wouldn't come out this year. And we need to talk to Savell and let him know that he needs to keep that to himself.
That's not exactly a great recruiting speech to stay put as a Suckup kickoff goes back into the end zone, unreturnable. It'll be Blue Raider football with 3 minutes 40 seconds remaining in this first half of play. Blue Raiders took the early lead 7-0. Then a McKinley fumble gave them the ball back. But since then, Carolina has dominated. In fact, since that touchdown pass, just 35 yards of total offense for Marks and company. First and 10 from the 20. Gross the beat back. They'll feed him. Tries to change directions at the 20. Gets a couple of yards on the second effort. Jasper Brinkley, another tackle.
You know, Middle Tennessee, going back to the first quarter, you know, they couldn't afford to make the penalties on the kickoff and jump off sides, and the meaningless stuff, you know, contributes to what? 21 points now that they have to make up, and lost the momentum and haven't gained it back.
Braddock back in the game, the quarterback. That was Bell on earlier. Another handoff to Gross. Modest gain will set up a 3rd and long.
This is going to be a big 3rd down here for Carolina. If they can stop them here and get another score, I bet Coach Spurrier would just walk into the locker room tickled pink, don't you, Mike?
Absolutely. 28-7. It's been a while since this team has enjoyed that kind of lead going into the half. We've had so many nail biters for you this year. Marks, the starting quarterback, returns to the field. Passing situation here.
Looks like Carolina's going to play man here, Mike.
3 wide set. Marks. Pressure from behind. Pass is deflected, incomplete, but another penalty flag. Well, we've had a ton of penalties in this game. Blue Raiders have already been penalized 7 times. I'll make it 8. Of course, you could decline this one, too.
Illegal motion, offense. Penalty is declined. 4th down.
Yeah, that one will be declined, so that one won't go officially as a penalty, but don't tell Rick Stockstill that it's not another bad play. His team has made a number of mental errors, particularly in this second quarter.
And going back to the quarterback, he's doing a lot of what Blake did early in the year, and that's telegraph his pass. That means looking too long on one side of the field or one receiver and throwing the ball.
Here's the punt by Smith. McKinley fields it at the 44. Has a lane to the outside and picks up about 11, 12 yards. Nicely done by the sophomore out of Mableton, Georgia, Kenny McKinley. The 1st and 10, 1 minute 48 seconds. Carolina has 2 timeouts remaining. Certainly plenty of time to do some damage here if you like.
Yeah, I would see Coach Spurrier spacing out his timing here with the offense and trying to get a score right at the end of the half. There's no time left on the clock.
Taylor Rank, the lone back. Jared Cook is in the slot up top. Mitchell, 7-step drop, penalty flag falls. Pass is complete to 82. That's Freddie Brown. Gain of 9, but let's see if it stands. Well, by the time this game is over, that man, the referee, is going to have laryngitis. Another procedure penalty, this time on the Gamecocks. Jeff Roberson. He's had a lot to say.
They'll look at the formation. Offense, number 78, was not on the line of scrimmage. 5-yard penalty, still 1st down.
That's Justin Sorensen, who for a while there was good for about a penalty a game. But he's really picked up his play since gaining that starting role at the right tackle spot. Justin Sorensen has improved dramatically as an offensive lineman. 1st and 15. Mitchell, quick pass play, complete to McKinley. And McKinley wrapped up just shy of the 1st down, 14 yards on that game.
Great play here, called by Coach Spurrier. Just a quick screen to Kenny, and if you think about this, Middle Tennessee is backed up way off on their coverage, thinking there's going to be a deep ball to Sidney here, but a completely the opposite comes out of Coach Spurrier. Runs a quick screen, lets them run for 10, 15-yard gain.
Yep. Gamecocks will burn their 2nd timeout here. 1:05 remaining in the 1st half. A reminder coming up at the half, we will have a visit from South Carolina head basketball coach Dave Odom, as well as the athletics director Eric Hyman, and both gentlemen have something to celebrate. Dave Odom's squad picking up an upset victory against Southern Cal over there on the left coast, and of course Eric Hyman announcing a couple days ago the university is ready to put forth their facilities plan to the tune of about $200 million. And that'll include the new baseball stadium for 2008, as well as we'll have an addition to this football stadium at Williams-Brice. The north end zone will have an upper deck and some new suites. Had a chance to see some of those drawings of all the new facilities, and I got to tell you, they look great. I'm very excited about what the future entails for this campus and for the facilities of this program. And we'll talk to those gentlemen, particularly Eric Hyman, about that.
A great future to look forward to for the athletics of Carolina. And Eric Hyman doing a great job so far.
Speaking of a great job, that's what Blake Mitchell has done. Pretty impressive numbers here in the 1st half. Three receivers set here. Mitchell drops back 7. Mitchell throws right into the hands and then out of the hands of Roy Polite. That should have been picked off. Well, Mitchell thought somebody was going to be there, but there was no one there in a Garnet jersey.
Yeah, Blake did. He looked at that. He looked at, I believe it was Kenny coming across the middle too long. He said, wait. And then the opposite corner from the other side of the field's coming across, making a play on the ball. I mean, he's got to learn to look away, go to his second and third receivers, and not stare down one guy the whole time.
3rd down and a yard. Noah Whiteside in the game for Carolina. Mitchell feeds Taylor Rank. Rank, nothing doing. Too much pressure coming right through the interior of the line for Taylor Rank to do anything there.
Oh, I thought we were going to be able to see a long field goal here by Suckup, but looks like Coach Spurrier wants to go for it on 4th down.
Always thinking like a kicker.
Oh, you got to.
You were looking at, let's see, well, if it was at the 40, it'd be 56-yarder, which would be 1 yard longer than his career long. And I certainly believe he could do it.
No, most definitely.
Mitchell under pressure, blitz coming, and he's got nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Popped and dropped all the way back near midfield. Damon Nixon racing in. So Carolina turns it over on down.
A great defensive play call here by Middle Tennessee, and they brought the house. Damon Nixon coming through untouched, bring Blake down.
This is where the timing rules really hurts Middle Tennessee State. A year ago on the change of possession, the clock would stay stopped, but because of the new rules, Rick Stockstill had to just burn a timeout. That does leave him with 2. But years ago, well, the history of college football, I guess, you wouldn't have to call a timeout in the spot. Right. 17 seconds left. If you're thinking about long field goal tries, the kicker for the Blue Raiders is Colby Smith. His long is 42 yards, and he'd have to get to the 25-yard line to line it up from there. One of the things we're going to talk about, Josh, and I think people will look forward to hearing your thoughts. Everybody is still trying to figure out last week how this team had 3 kicks blocked, which certainly turned out to be the difference in the game. We definitely want to get your thoughts on that in the second half. Clint Marks going to work from the gun. Gross to left. Motion. It's only fitting that the first half would have at least another penalty before we go to intermission. We've already had 9 that have not been declined.
Dead ball, ball start. Offense, number 54, 5-yard penalty. Remains 1st down.
That's Franklin Dunbar, the tackle, sophomore out of Waycross, Georgia. He started 15 games in a row for Middle Tennessee State. So 1st down and 15. That is 8 penalties now.
It's 1st and 15.
Against Middle Tennessee. Still 17 seconds remaining in the first half. The lefty rolls out, completes the pass at the 45 and out of bounds in Carolina territory is number 13, Teron Henry. First catch of the day for Henry. 15th catch of the year.
I mean, you never know. Middle Tennessee, Coach Spurrier's philosophy is he never wants to kneel the ball because you never know what's going to happen on a run play. And the same thing goes for this, you never know what's going to happen on a short pass play.
11 seconds now. And another short pass play as they get out of bounds.
Bobby Williams.
Clock stops for 4 seconds. Bobby Williams
Yvonne Banag on the stop for
making his
Carolina.
first catch. Yvonne Banag on the tackle. He got his first career start today at linebacker. Cody Wells is out with a torn biceps muscle, which I've never had, but sounds like one of the most painful injuries on the face of the earth.
I couldn't imagine. From the 40.
So it's 1st and 10 from the 40, but more importantly, just 4 seconds left. Time here for just a Hail Mary. Trips to the right-hand side. Let's see what kind of arm Quint Marks has here. Nope, Joe Craddock's going to chuck it up there. That's if he gets it off. Buys some time, chucks it from midfield. Ball is knocked down. The way things have gone, you were waiting for a secondary man for Carolina to tip it up in the air. Savell Newton was back there. So that's how the first half comes to a close. The first half dominated by the Gamecocks. Carolina takes a 28-7 lead in an intermission. Halftime festivities coming your way on CSS.
Mike Morgan and Josh Brown with you. Second half about to get underway, but first let's take a look back at the first half highlights. And Josh, it all got started with a big play for the Blue Raiders.
That's right. Here's a quarterback dropping back and seeing a mismatch. A running back coming out of the backfield and going by our defensive back, Stoney Woodson. First play of the game and really set the tone well for Middle Tennessee.
Then, of course, Corey Boyd would have a catch and run for the ages.
And going back to this, and there's just not much you can say. Corey Boyd just taking almost every single defender on here with this run.
And then Blake and Sidney would get on the same page.
Blake dropping back, pump faking and finding Sidney, throwing the ball up. Sidney doing what he does best, coming down with the ball in the end zone.
And really, Carolina has dominated the second half, or the second quarter rather, ever since that first touchdown. Second half getting underway as the kickoff to the Gamecocks. On the return, it's Captain Munnerlyn. Finds some room down the far sideline and is knocked out of bounds at the 35.
Well,
first half statistics.
First half stats here looking, USC has dominated the game ever since the first play of the game and has really come alive here in the passing game with 250 yards and come through on third down where there's been a spot that Carolina hasn't come through in a lot of ball games so far this season.
So the Gamecocks with good field position. Blake Mitchell, who had a solid first half. Little pitch left-hand side, middle. Corey Boyd breaks it back up the middle for a gain of about 8 yards. Corey Boyd, 7 carries, 24 yards in the first half, and that 152-yard reception. And then Taylor Rank and Bobby Wallace seeing some duties in the second quarter. Gamecocks have dominated this game since that opening play for a touchdown by the Blue Raiders. Here's Boyd probing the left side, muscling forward, grabs a couple of white jerseys with him, and that'll be a first down.
What a great asset to have on your team. Corey Boyd is just such a tough runner. I mean, I can't say stress this enough, is how tough he is in making 2-3 defenders bring him down. In that case, it was like 5 or 6, but still, it's just, he's a great asset to the offense and being able to hand the ball off to him and get 5 yards a pop.
Gamecocks running the football 13 times for 35 yards, passing for 250 yards thus far, and Mitchell's going to try to add to that total here. Looks and completes to Jared Cook, pass for 30, and all the way out to the 27-yard line. Second catch of the day for Cook, who has been held in check for about the last 5 or 6 weeks.
Blake dropping back and very comfortable. Look at just the poise that he has, stepping up in the pocket and delivering a great ball over top of the linebacker to Jared Cook. And like you said, Mike, Jared Cook, one of those unspokens there for a long time in the season, coming through today with 2 big catches. 26
yards on the hookup. Mitchell going to feed Boyd again. Boyd off right tackle. Makes a cut at the 21. Heads forward to the 20. Gain of about 7 before J.K. Sabb brings him down.
Mike, me being a player, I'm able to look back and see the past 5 years, we have never had a team like Middle Tennessee that we could, maybe gain our confidence. Every single year we've had to play, I think the stretch was Tennessee, Arkansas, Florida, and Clemson. Now, those 4 games right in a row, aren't the easiest.
Certainly a lot to ask as Boyd tripped up inside the 20. Gamecocks with another red zone opportunity. Yeah, I personally like the way this game fell on the schedule. Now, a couple things had to happen for this to come through. And, of course, the relationship with Rick Stockstill and another guy we haven't really talked about so far today, but the athletics director for MTSU was Chris Massaro, who was with the University of South Carolina for 20 years. Boyd, little power run right behind the left side of that offensive line. That's another first down. Chris Massaro was in charge of a lot of things here, including tickets for a number of years, was an associate athletic director as well, and it was a great opportunity for him. And when the opportunity came, when the opening came on the schedule, Massaro and Eric Hyman were able to work it out, and that's how this game got placed on the schedule. Now, nobody anticipated MTSU would come in here with 7 wins.
Right.
Their highest total in over a half century. 1st and 10 from the 13. It's Boyd again. A big serving of Corey Boyd on this drive inside the 10.
I think Coach Breyer is going to do it the old-fashioned way and just try to wear down the defense and run the ball in.
Jonathan Presley with the tackle. Corey Boyd, 12 carries now, 50 yards and a score. Freddie Brown will sub in for the Gamecock receiving corps.
Coach Stockstill's got to be frustrated coming in and being such a great record and performing so well during the season, and then come in and have a performance like today. It's just got to be disappointing.
Mitchell to Rank, and Rank is swallowed up in a hurry. Good surge on Middle Tennessee's part, including Lonnie Clemens, 6'1", 214-pound sophomore out of Milledgeville, Georgia.
Yeah, the defensive line just blew by our offensive line and came in, and Rank had nowhere to run.
So that sets up a 3rd down and 8 yards to go. Mitchell will work from the gun. No Sidney Rice on the field right now for Carolina. Mitchell has to throw it away, and that ball barely reaches the line of scrimmage. Remember, it has to, if you're going to throw it away, you got to reach the line. Blake Mitchell not too happy with the lack of protection on this one.
No, and I think this play was actually a screen, and Taylor Rank was not actually turned around to receive the ball. The play was set up perfectly. They were bringing the house. They had safeties up. They were blitzing safeties, and Blake wasn't able to deliver the ball.
28-yard attempt by Suckup, and Suckup remains perfect. If you take away the blocks now, he is perfect inside of 45 yards. Gamecocks get 3 on the opening drive of the second half. It's Carolina 31, MTSU 7 on CSS. the college football season winds down, the talk heats up. Don't miss Talking Football, Sunday at 8, only on CSS, your source for Southeast sports. And there's a lot of people across the country doing just that, talking football this time of year. You've got the game of the year coming up later today, Ohio State and Michigan. What do you like in that one, Joe?
I like Ohio State. They're playing at home. Coach Trussell is a great coach, and special teams. They got great special teams, and I think that might be the determining factor. Now, don't get me wrong, Michigan's a great team, offensive and defensively, but those close games, they can come down to a punt return, kickoff return, or a punt, even block punt.
Well, in the spirit of competition, I'll go against you and take Michigan as an upset. I think Troy Smith will finally have a less than stellar game against Michigan, and the Wolverines and Hart will get some running going. I'm going with the Wolverines in an upset, and if I'm wrong, nobody will remember anyway, so I can't lose in this situation.
Right.
Suck up on the kickoff. Blue Raiders really haven't had a big return yet, at least not without a penalty, and they're not going to get one here, as 21 Philip Tanner is stopped in his tracks at the 21-yard line. Well, if you're Middle Tennessee State, you need to get something going in a hurry here, and the problem with Rick Stockstill and the offense, while they've been very good this year running the football, they rank 105 out of 119 passing offenses. Rick Stockstill, Florida State quarterback. His coaching experience has been all over the map, from Bethune-Cookman to East Carolina, South Carolina. Of course, Clemson was there for a long time. Stockstill's only 48 years old, and they really like what they have in Murfreesboro. They think Stockstill is the coach that they've been looking for quite some time. 7 wins this year, the most of any team from Middle Tennessee State in 59 years.
Yeah, and Mike, adding to what you're saying, he's just one of those coaches that relates so well to the players, and knows how to treat players.
And he could flat out recruit. I mean, if he went to Clemson, he'd get a slew of great players there. If he went to Carolina, then all of a sudden some of the top players in the state of South Carolina would become Gamecocks. And that's where he was really missed the most, was losing him as a recruiting coordinator. Pass intended for Teron Henry, incomplete, sets up a 3rd down and 9. This offense right now for MTSU just really out of sync.
They're just trying to get something going, and their backup quarterback coming in trying to do some things, but they're just searching right now. Hopefully Carolina can come up with another big 3rd down stop.
Savell Newton playing center field for the Gamecocks secondary. Now he's actually going to come in on a blitz. And the throw is incomplete as the safety blitz, Emmanuel Cook, came in, put a hit on Clint Marks before he could really get set.
What a great hit by the freshman there, Mike. Coming there and making the tackle decide one or the other. And really helps coming from the backside, being able to attack the quarterback when he's not waiting, when not actually ready for it.
18 true freshmen have played for this Gamecock team. I'd make that 11 of 18, and 7 of them on the defense. 7 true freshmen have played this year on that Gamecock defense. Emmanuel Cook, one of them, as McKinley fields the punt at the 30, now the 40, and down at midfield. So a 20-yard return for McKinley, brought down by Jonathan Parks. 8 minutes, 35 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. Gamecocks cruising a 31-7 lead on CSS.
Please direct your attention to the video board for today's Great Southern Home Great Student Athlete of the Game.
Back to Williams-Brice Stadium on a beautiful Saturday afternoon. It's been a long time since we've seen football under the sun. So many night games this year. Blake Mitchell with some very impressive numbers here of late, and he's going to go for some more. Pass caught by McKinley, has 10, has 14 yards before being knocked out of bounds near the 35-yard line. Blake Mitchell, this junior out of LaGrange.
I'll tell you what, Mike, Kenny is just having an unbelievable day. You know, credit to Blake for putting the balls on the money, but he has had catch after catch and hit after hit. Blake having a great so far last 8 quarters.
Corey Boyd again tries the left side, has some success there. Will set up a 2nd down and short. Yeah, the numbers for Blake Mitchell since coming into that Arkansas game are about as good as any quarterback in the country has had. When you talk about a completion percentage at about 70, the yardage he's been able to rack up per attempt, touchdowns versus INTs, he's been red hot. Not bad for a guy that, let's face it, people have pretty much just given up on. 2nd and 3, Boyd the lone back. They fake it to him, throw right side to Rice. Rice will make a move and will plow ahead for another 1st down to the 23-yard line. I mean, Mitchell was a guy that lost his job, and then Savell Newton had some good games, played exceptional against Auburn. And Blake was caught in a kind of a time sandwich, if you will, because you had Savell Newton this year, and everybody's talking about Chris Smelly being the future and getting the job next year. And you wondered if we'd ever see Blake again. And all he's done is just light it up since coming in that Arkansas game.
And I credit Coach Spurrier for that, Mike. And I'll tell you why after this play.
1st down and 10 from the 23. It's Boyd. Makes another jitterbug move. Cuts back at the 20. And bowls ahead of the 25. Again, Boyd making something out of nothing.
So what Coach Spurrier does with Blake, he's not performing the way you want him to, and hasn't performed the way you want him to. So what do you do? You question his character by making him sit on the bench and watch somebody else perform. That's what you do. And then when you give him the next opportunity, we'll see whether he wanted it that bad or not. And he made the best out of the opportunity that he had. Every throw was on the money. It goes to show you that he really wants to be South Carolina's quarterback.
And he said, Spurrier did, look, Blake Mitchell better stop feeling sorry for himself. If he does, he'll be okay. He'll get another chance. And true to his word, Spurrier gets him in there in the Arkansas game, and it just wasn't working for Newton. Newton has really struggled with his accuracy against Tennessee and had a rough 1st half against Arkansas. Mitchell comes in, and I mean, in that 15 of 20 stretch that he had, every throw was just right on the money. We're not talking screen passes or quick hitches. He had a lot of corner routes and deep posts and whatnot, and he was nearly flawless before that interception late. And the game against Florida was the one that really secured his job for the rest of this year. Boyd gets a couple of tough yards up the middle for another 1st down as Carolina now just methodically dissecting this Blue Raider defense play by play.
One man that has been a man today is that man right there, Corey Boyd. 17 rushes for 74 yards and a TD, and hopefully they give it to him again. He's earned another TD if you ask me.
It was the Mike Davis show last week against the Gators. He had 2 touchdowns. Corey Boyd looking for another one here. On the left side, he is popped and dropped hard inside the 10. Penalty flag falls to the ground. But Jonathan Harris laid the lick. Penalties on. The Gamecocks will take another look and a listen to that hit on Corey Boyd.
Here it is, just a toss sweep to the outside. Oh, man. That was helmet-to-helmet contact. I know you can tell Corey has readjusted his face mask about 4 times now. I definitely jarred him. I know that. See, there he goes again. That's 5th. that might just be a habit, but as far as I'm concerned, and getting hit helmet to helmet, I would think that he would definitely need to think again about going head on with that guy.
We've seen some hard hitting in this game. Boyd this time lined out as a receiver. Bottom of your screen. Stafford the lone back. We know he's not going to carry. Mitchell from the pocket delivers a strike to McKinley, but it's deflected away by Reggie Doucette.
Wow, that was a great play by the defensive back. What a last-second reaction that he had to make with his hand to deflect the ball. If not, it would have been a touchdown for Kenny McKinley.
Gamecocks today in the red zone, 3 of 3. 2 touchdowns, 1 field goal. Again, that's been a trouble spot for this team all year long, but not today. Second down and 18. Four wide set.
If I was to guess, it might be a draw or a pass.
Mitchell's going to dump it off to Boyd. The 15, the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Corey Boyd. Corey Boyd with his second rushing touchdown of the day. 19 yards. He is a man possessed.
He ran so fast and broke so many tackles he came out his own shoe. Nice screen play. What a great offensive call. Lineman downfield picking up defensive backs, and Corey Boyd coming out of his shoe and falling in the end zone. A man amongst boys today.
More target practice for Ryan Suckup as he delivers another extra point. 38-7 now. Carolina starting to pour it on here. 4:35 remaining in the third quarter of play. And you're watching CSS. Middle Tennessee State getting ready to get the football back from the goal line on the return. Good hole up the middle, now trying to break it to the outside is Damon Nixon, and of course the obligatory special teams penalty, which has been featured throughout the ball game. Blue Raider football. First down and 10 as we await the call from what has been a very busy officiating crew.
Holding, receiving team, number 32, 10-yard penalty, spot of the foul, first down.
The experts weigh in Monday on Sports Night as NFL analyst Victor Green, NASCAR expert Dan Elliott visit the crew. Don't miss Sports Night Monday at 6 and 11. Now, Green and Elliott can find some common ground. You've got something going right there. A little NFL NASCAR talk. Two things that rarely get in the same conversation, but that's the magic of Sports Night. First and 10 from the 17 for the Blue Raiders. Clint Marks, we've seen both quarterbacks. Clint Marks in there now along with DeMarco McNair, the running back.
It'll be interesting to see what Middle Tennessee tries to do here. I would think that they're out of reach to win this game.
You're going out on a limb there, Jim.
I am. I'm going out on a very long limb there.
It would take quite a flurry of points for the Blue Raiders. McNair, no gain on that play. Well, that's another Brinkley in on the stop. Jasper and Casper. Where would this defense be without these two young men?
I mean, you think about it, one of them is like enough, but both of them, I mean, and on top of that, they're both about the same size, and what good weapons that they can be on defense.
And I'll tell you that the best thing that could have ever happened to Carolina this year for defensive purposes, as the Blue Raiders throw on second down, is that Georgia turned down Casper Brinkley. They said, well, we'll give Jasper a scholarship, but we're not giving Casper one. And they wanted to go to Georgia. They're from Thompson, Georgia. And Casper and Jasper said, look, we're a package deal. You say no, Carolina's saying yes. We're going to take the short voyage to Columbia, and we'll let you know about it this season as they continue to rack up a ton of big plays.
Right. And look for them here on third down.
Middle Tennessee State trying to add to that 2-yard total here on this play. 3rd and 10. Draw play to the left side. Gets a block from the quarterback and a first down for DeMarco McNair.
That was an odd play there, Mike. I don't think I've ever seen a play like that. That was a draw out of the shotgun with the quarterback lead blocking around the outside. It was almost designed. Well, maybe not, but still, it was. It looked good.
If you ask the offensive coordinator for MTSU, he'll tell you that was a design.
Yeah.
Whatever works. A rare first down for the Blue Raiders. Just 6 on the day. Carolina has 21. I'm not sure what they're waiting for.
Oh, the chains. Looks like they have gotten tangled up there on the sideline.
Well, I have not seen that before. They're a defective. Oh. Look at that. They've got to fix the.
Oh, no. Looks like somebody ran into it on their way off the sideline. They have bent the yard marker. Oh, we got backups.
Backups. Look at it. The chain is all tangled up. This is something out of a Keystone Cops episode. Stockstill says we finally get something going, but we got to stop the play in order to get chains untangled. We can put a man on the moon, but we can't keep chains from being untangled. I don't think I've ever seen that.
It's a first for me. Oh, no. No, the referee saying, yeah, it's close enough to 10 yards. Let's go with it.
Yeah. I think even if it was 9.5, they'd let it slide at this point. It's a 38-7 game. I don't think anybody's going to complain if they're a link or two off.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Time to play some football.
That's the most airtime a chain gang has gotten all year long here on CSS. Blue Raider football. It's 1st and 10. And again, not much doing for DeMarco McNair, a 5'11", 192-pound junior out of Thompson, Georgia, same hometown as the Brinkley twins.
Let me take a look here, and there's no more surge from the offensive line for Middle Tennessee. The linebackers for Carolina are beating the running backs at the line of scrimmage and driving them back. And just doing a great job. Coach Nix is, boy, he can stress. Oh, my goodness. You watch him on the sideline. He's gritting his teeth. He's taking his hat off and moving the microphone away from his mouth. But he's a great defensive coordinator, though.
On 2nd and 7. Pass completed at the 35 and past the 40. That'll be a first down. Steven Chicola, tight end out of Jacksonville on the catch. Carlos Thomas on the tackle. Yeah, we just saw Tyrone Nix, but I'll tell you a guy that has not gotten much credit this year. Got a new defensive line coach, Brad Lawing, who worked with Lou Saban and Bill Belichick in the NFL. He came from North Carolina, but has terrific pedigree. When you work with a guy by the name of Bill Belichick, you're learning something. And the defensive line, which is extremely young, has played much better in recent weeks, and they've had to do so without Stanley Doty, who's had some issues that have kept him from playing. And there's another good play by a defensive lineman, Nathan Pepper, in on the tackle. He's been the most consistent defensive tackle, Josh. This guy doesn't get a whole lot of airplay either, but he's done a good job.
That's right. And he's not the biggest guy out there either. I mean, he is a fighter. He's, I don't know, probably a little under 300 and probably right around 6 foot, but you're going against offensive linemen that are twice your size when he's that small.
Yeah, they list him at 285, which in the SEC, I mean, that is awfully small for a defensive tackle. There's a loss of 9, but a penalty flag, a personal foul on Carolina is going to move it the other way, and of course that's an automatic first down. So talk about an early Christmas present for the Blue Raiders.
Yeah, there's a look at Coach Loin right there with the papers in his hands. And probably writing down one of his defensive line that got the personal foul and making a note of it to talk to them once they get in the locker room.
So a big bailout there, 1st and 10 from the 46-yard line. Marks under pressure. He is hit hard ball on the ground, and a lineman for the Blue Raiders recovered it. Von Benag, one of the Garnet jerseys, in on that play. But the football is recovered. He never saw the pressure coming.
No, he sure did. One of the Middle Tennessee's linemen was aware enough to jump on the ball. Von Benag is a great player for Carolina defense and special teams. Involved a lot on special teams, Benag.
Benag, 5'9", 214-pound sophomore out of Buford, Georgia. Got the start today at outside linebacker. 2nd down and 15. Again, more pressure, and again he goes down, and it's Von Benag again.
If it worked one time, do it again.
2 sacks on one series for Von Benag. 3rd down and 17 now.
Taking another look, and they're dropping back, and this time he saw him coming. He knew who to look for, but Benag bringing him down, and you can see his numbers right there, 11 tackles, 3 assists, 14 total on the year. Has been, like I say, a big contributor on special teams, and making 2 big plays for the defense right there.
3 quarters in the books. We'll come back with quarter number 4 with the Gamecocks leading at 38-7 on CSS. As we start the 4th quarter, the Blue Raiders faced with a 3rd and 17. And more pressure. The hit by Casper Brinkley. The fumble again recovered by the Blue Raiders. But it'll be 4th and an eternity. And Middle Tennessee will be forced to punt the football. 3 consecutive sacks on 3 straight plays.
That's got to be a Carolina first. I've never seen 3 sacks in a row, 2 forced fumbles for the Carolina defense. What a great series.
2 by Benag, 1 by Casper Brinkley. Colby Smith, a busy man, on to punt the football once again. High spiraling kick. McKinley camps underneath it and makes the fair catch at the 28-yard line. Well, the Gamecocks have dominated this one. Total yardage, 385 to 132. 21 first downs to just 8 for MTSU, and we'll see if the domination continues when we return with the Gamecocks up by 31. First and 10, Carolina. Mitchell handing it off to Bobby Wallace.
Bobby Wallace on the carry, Carolina.
There as holes are stuffed in a hurry by Middle Tennessee State.
I wouldn't be surprised to see another quarterback come in.
2nd and 9.
Now, my 2 favorites right now, I'm going to tell you before they even come close to entering the game. Savell Newton, because it's senior day.
Right.
Or Kate Thompson.
Well, it's funny you would mention Kate Thompson, because according to the latest depth chart, as Whiteside makes a rare catch, Tommy Beecher has moved ahead of him. So we might actually see Tommy Beecher for the first time.
Well, that would be a good thing, too. I don't think any of the Carolina fans have seen Tommy Beecher other in practice.
No, he's kind of been the forgotten man in that quarterback club. But I'm with you. I think a lot of fans, senior day, would like to see Savell Newton get the football a couple more times before this game is over. Of course, the last thing you want to do is get any of your key guys hurt.
That's right.
Before the biggest game of the year next week against the Clemson Tigers.
Stop.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a good thing, you know. What is it, 5 years running now that Clemson's run the table against Carolina?
Yeah, the last victory was 2001, so 02, 03, 04, 05, they'll be going for their 5th straight. And first victory in Death Valley in a long time. You got to go back to the mid-90s the last time that has happened, when Brad Scott was the head coach. First and 10 from the 40. Middle Tennessee State stacking the line. Mitchell hit as he throws and completes it to Mike West at the 45 and upended at the 42-yard line.
The thing that amazes me, Mike, is that Coach Spurrier is still throwing the ball, and it's 38-7 in the 4th quarter with 12 minutes to go. But he never ceases to amaze me.
Watch Brian Kingery pick up a key block on the replay there.
Oh, yeah. But Brian Kingery and Bobby Wallace definitely picked up 2 blitzing. I think they were linebackers to allow Blake to deliver the football.
Kingery's one of those lunch pail guys, 6'1", 237-pound bruising fullback out of Raleigh, North Carolina. A little trickery here on the reverse, but Mike West is tattooed at the 45. They'll give him forward progress, but he had no chance on that play.
Coach Spurrier not happy with that. I think Blake was supposed to peel back and pick up that guy right there, and just kind of let him go right by. A little Olay block, as we like to call him.
That's J.K. Sabb, not Saab like the car, but Sabb, senior out of Augusta, Georgia, the team's leading tackler, and made his imprint on Mike West on that stop. That'll set up a 2nd down and 20.
We'll play a little change of play here by Coach Spurrier from the sideline. Be interested to see what.
Mitchell has time, delivers, near side, complete by Bobby Wallace. Jitterbug move at the 35, and all the way down to the 32, just a couple yards shy of the 1st down marker.
How does Coach Spurrier see these things from the sideline? That's what amazes me. Look, here's Bobby Wallace coming out of the backfield, probably has a linebacker matched up against him, and Coach Spurrier automatically sees it in an instant and changes the play. He, like I said before, never ceases to amaze me.
And Blake Mitchell going to burn a timeout here. Make sure everything is all set up. He doesn't want to have this drive come to an end. 3rd down and what would be a short 2 or a long 1 with 10:24 remaining. Blake Mitchell has a great game working, and he would not mind another touchdown pass. He has 4. The school record is 5, which Savell Newton tied earlier this year. Celebrate Thanksgiving with a different brand of football. Catch the Super Bowl of the Canadian Football League, the Grey Cup, Thursday at 6 on CSS. The Grey Cup, huh? Almost forgot about the Grey Cup this year. It just kind of sneaks up on you every year. Blake Mitchell, he's been terrific in this ball game. Already 4 touchdown passes. And 20 of 27. Doesn't get much more precise than that. 360 yards. And we'll double check, but I think that's a career high for Blake. Another 4 touchdowns is. We'll double check on the yardage in just a sec. And he's got a chance to, again, tie a school record held by a number of quarterbacks. Savell Newton was the latest to get 5. He did it against FAU. Steve Tanier actually did it twice for the Gamecocks. Tommy Suggs also in that category. I believe Jeff Grants is the other memory serves. So I'm sure Blake is well aware of that. One of the things, Josh, that I love about Spurrier is that he knows players. Look, There's nothing selfish about this. They like to have their name in the record books.
Right.
He's always aware of the records, and he loves to break them, no matter where he goes.
No doubt.
That's part of being kind of a player-friendly coach.
Yep. Well, I'm going to call it right here. Play action, ISO up the middle and hitting the tight end down the middle of the field.
Boy, I mean, the way you said that, I love the play. Now, let's see, who's the tight ends on the left side? Is that Pavlovic?
Yeah, it looks like Pavlovic. But you never know. There goes Mike West in motion. So
staggered eye look. Blake, play action. Blake under duress throws a lob ball up the middle right side. Caught at the 7. Almost breaks a tackle at the 5 and down at the 4. And that'll be a first down. I don't know how Blake even got that ball off.
Did I mention that me and Coach Sprayer hang out during the week?
I noticed that. I thought maybe you called that play in. Maybe he's listening to our broadcast. 28 yards on this play.
Yeah, Blake dropped back but get pressured and steps up. And this is something Blake usually wasn't able to do at the beginning of the season. That's why Coach Sprayer held him out. Noah Whiteside adjusting great to the ball and taking him down in first and goal territory.
Tommy Beecher is in the game. Tommy Beecher is at quarterback for the first time. Beecher hands it off to Taylor Rank, and he goes nowhere. Back to the line. So Blake Mitchell might not have that opportunity to tie the school record after all, as Coach Spurrier getting some work for Tommy Beecher. Beecher is 6'1", 214-pound redshirt freshman out of Concord, North Carolina. Set a bunch of records there.
This is, I think, his first playing experience, isn't it?
It certainly is. High formation behind him. Rank dots it. One receiver to the right. Beecher goes to the air. Beecher looking for West. Touchdown, Carolina. Tommy Beecher. One pass, one completion, one touchdown. That'll look good in the passer efficiency rankings.
That sure will. And how about that? I mean, your first showing, you get to throw a touchdown pass. It's very rare.
3 yards on the hookup, completing a 9-play drive.
He threw a very well-thrown ball here, right over the shoulder, and Mike West made a great catch, getting 2 feet in bounds, coming down with a score.
Extra point is perfect by Suckup.
Oh, I'm going to have to correct you.
I'm sorry.
That was Jordan Dodds.
I knew it as soon as I said it. We got to give the backup kicker some love. Jordan Dodds, nicely done. Tommy Beecher, nicely done. We'll be back with more in a moment. Middle Tennessee State fielding the kickoff inside the 5 and out to the 21. Damon Nixon for the Blue Raiders. Marvin Sapp with a special teams tackle for Carolina. Now 45-7 our score. We were talking about this during the break. Tommy Beecher, his first career pass, a touchdown. And in case you're wondering, this will be great for the water cooler discussions on Monday if you want to impress your coworkers. The last Gamecock quarterback to do that same feat, touchdown pass on the very first attempt, well, none other than Eric Kimry on the fade to beat Mississippi State back in 2000, one of the great finishes in Gamecock football history. So Beecher joins a very short list in that category. Middle Tennessee State needs something very good to happen in a hurry. The quarterback keeper, that'll work. First down yardage. Joe Craddock, better runner of the two quarterbacks. Stewart in on the tackle. By the way, congratulations to Eric Kimry's team. Kimry, now a high school coach, winning the state title last night.
Hammond. At Hammond School, which is a private school here in Columbia.
Kimry's actually not a bad little basketball player, too.
No.
Had a chance to play with him over at the Hammond Gym.
He's got a whole host of Carolina players as his coaches over there, so there's a whole gang of them over there.
Jason Barnes is on that staff. And there's a run between the tackles by Eugene Gross, who we talked about early on as a key to this game, and he's really been held in check. 45-7, and of course, everybody's who's a football fan at all, they're thinking today about that classic matchup, the rivalry, the Grey Cup final, which will be carried on CSS, the Lions of British Columbia against the Alouettes of Montreal. When those two teams meet, you can throw away the record books, Josh. Second down and 6 from the gun. Quarterback keeper again, strung out to the right. Marvin Sapp with a nice open field tackle. Of course, that other game that some people might have an interest in, Ohio State, Michigan, and they're about 15 minutes away from kickoff. As we've already established, Josh likes Ohio State. I am going out on a limb predicting the Michigan upset.
Yeah, it looks like Middle Tennessee's going back to their roots here and just going to try to establish a run game. But I will ask you this, Mike. Have you ever thought about going into comedy?
For a short time. for a short time, and then this whole announcing thing came to fruition, and I just kind of stuck with it. Third down and 6 from the shotgun. And a whistle before the play is snapped, so how many penalties? That's 13 before this one. I think this is a delay of game.
Offense, 5-yard penalty, remains third down.
14 penalties in this game, and that's 10 against Middle Tennessee State. And if you're Rick Stockstill, that's going to drive you crazy. He's got to make sure his team stays focused. They've got a big one next week against the Trojans of Troy, and the winner of that wins the Sun Belt and goes to the New Orleans Bowl. And obviously, if you're a college athlete, you get a free trip to New Orleans. That's all the motivation you need.
That's right.
Third and 11 from the gun. Pass to the right side, complete, but shy of the first down. Going to be about 2 yards shy.
I'm going to go out on another limb here and say they go for it on 4th down.
Boy, you are a bold man.
Oh, well, I was wrong. I was wrong.
Ah, see that? You got a little bit too confident in your prediction.
That was a great pass and great effort by the tight end there, trying to stretch to make the first down.
And some people might say, why in the world did you punt here? I mean, obviously, this game is in the books. You're not expecting a comeback here. And like we just mentioned to you, they want to stay focused and get ready for next week, which will be, if they can get it, kind of a landmark victory for this Middle Tennessee State program. 5 minutes, 9 seconds remaining. Carolina with a commanding 45-7 lead on CSS.
Carolina will have first and 10 to the 12.
Alongside Josh Brown, Mike Morgan with you here at Williams-Brice Stadium. The Gamecocks looking to win a home game. It's been a while. Leading Middle Tennessee State 45-7. It has been a domination for most of the way. Tommy Beecher stays in at quarterback. He of the 1-for-1, 1 touchdown lifetime stat line going to get to this drive. Mike West in motion. Handoff. Nice cut back by Wallace. Breaks free at the 20. Oh, he's got a big lane. 40, 50, foot race. 35, 25, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown. Bobby Wallace. 88 yards. Bobby Wallace with his first career score.
What a great play. Man, oh man. Bobby Wallace shot out of there like a rocket.
I wasn't sure if he was going to be able to outrun him. There was a split second there where it looked like Middle Tennessee would catch up to him.
And Tommy Beecher's got a little sparkle in his hands. When he hands the ball off or throws it, people score. Bobby Wallace just foot racing, just beating everybody all out. Nobody can catch him. There is Thomas Hooper to add the extra point.
We're getting all your buddies in.
Yeah.
Do we have a fourth kicker that we can
I think he's red-shirted.
Okay, well, there you go. The Suck-Up Dodds Hooper show. The extra points. Another look at Bobby Wallace.
Tell you, the offensive line did a great job for him. Mike West, great job of downfield blocking. Bobby Wallace just outrunning everybody.
I thought 6 might have had the angle there. Roy Polite, but he couldn't catch him. Could not grab him from behind.
I will tell you, James Thompson up front did a great job for Bobby Wallace to break him loose. And he called up with the no Whiteside. James Thompson right there. Great block. Pavlovic, Jamar Meredith, Noah Whiteside. It was a whole offensive team effort right there.
And our stat magician, Brian Burnett, has just looked it up, and we now can officially tell you that is the 4th longest run in Carolina history. Steve Wadiak, 96. And the last time that anybody ran 88 yards or more, Brandon Bennett in 1991 had an 89-yarder against East Tennessee State. So the 4th longest run in Gamecock history. Rick Stockstill not pleased with what he's seen in this one, obviously, but it's not going to affect that unblemished conference record of 6-0. And Middle Tennessee State will have a chance to take on Troy next week. That'll be the game in terms of deciding who gets to go to the New Orleans Bowl, which I'm told is officially the R&L Carriers New Orleans Bowl. We certainly wouldn't want to leave them out with all the great work that they do carrying various things. Now, Carolina will kick it off. Middle Tennessee State at this point just wants that clock to run out. Still over 4 minutes left in this ball game.
Yeah, we still need to give credit where credit is due, though, because Coach Stockstill is a great coach, and it's going to have a lot of success at Middle Tennessee.
No question. I mean, he's already done it in terms of the amount of wins he's been able to rack up this year.
First-year coach being able to go to a bowl game, I think, is good enough.
Sure. But a lot of people had this game. A lot of people had this game on upset alert. That Carolina still kind of with a Florida hangover, but that combined with the fact that Middle Tennessee has played some tough teams tight this year. New quarterback for MTSU. That's the 3rd stringer, Patrick Jackson, a redshirt junior out of Macon, Georgia. And his starting tailback, Eugene Gross, who's been quiet today, breaks it outside, turns the corner for about 11. Gross with only 30 yards on the day. Chris Hale in on the tackle. Chris Hale, if you remember, was a wide receiver for most of the year before changing to the defensive side of the ball.
Well, it's time to get all the guys that haven't seen much time all year in for both sides of the ball.
Chris Hale is at the bottom of your screen playing corner. And there's a number of new numbers out there. This game might be over, but the broadcast doesn't want to keep you posted on all the new names out there. That was Damian Wright, speaking of new names, deflecting that pass. You see Vanderell Shackelford, number 48, backup middle linebacker, another freshman out of Riverdale, Georgia. Dakota Walker was on the field for a rare time on that last play. And officials talking again.
The flag was for defensive pass interference. The ball was deflected away and was uncatchable. There is no foul.
Thank you for the clarification. And it's 2nd down and 10.
See Coach Stockstill just laughing because that's kind of how his day has gone.
Oh, yeah.
That is exactly how his day has gone.
Second down and 10. 3:35 to go. Jackson takes his time, now gets the snap off. Another handoff, right side, Gross. Turns the corner again, and is near another first down. Joel Reeves spins him to the turf. Joel Reeves is another one of those guys that I think you're going to hear more of next year. So many of these defensive players that you see in Garnet, so young, still learning week by week. But if there is one advantage to being forced into playing so many young players, yeah, you're gonna make your mistakes for the present. You're gonna take your lumps from time to time, but it just makes the future that much brighter.
That's right, and there's so many young players on this team, offensive and defensively.
Total domination in the second half, as the yardage statistic would certainly indicate. Quarterback keeper on 3rd and short. That'll be a first down. Shackelford in on the stop. Now the Gamecocks, with the win, will have enough to make it to a bowl game for the 2nd straight year, and Steve Spurrier would be the first coach in school history to lead the Gamecocks to a bowl game in years 1 and 2. So just add that to the checklist of accomplishments that Spurrier has already made in 2 years as the head Gamecock.
Well, I can tell you one thing, that it's going to be close between South Carolina and Kentucky as far as getting a bowl bid, because Kentucky, I think their record right now is 7-4.
Yeah.
And they play a small school today.
Right.
And, well, there's Brett Nichols going in the game at defensive back, number 16, going in as a safety.
Now,
Coach Spurrier just trying to get him on the field.
Has he ever played safety a day in his life?
No, he has not. unless it's for and Coach Reeves getting a kick out of that right there, as you can see him smiling.
That's just one of those where Spurrier says, yep, get in there, safety. Go ahead, give it a shot.
He just said, hey, don't let any pass get past you.
That's right. Another run. Hey, Nichols,
he's going to have to make a tackle.
He was coming in. I don't think Nichols wanted any part of it, but he was coming in for a possible tackle.
Yeah.
You know, going back to your point on the bowl situation, there's some talk, a possibility of getting into one of those wild card bowls, perhaps the Emerald Bowl in San Francisco. The thing that always helps Carolina, regardless of the win-loss resume, is the fact that you know you're going to get a ton of people to travel. And bowl games, you know, if you want to cut it down to the bare science of what they're all about, money, making money. And Carolina fans can ensure you a better shot at making a profit. 3rd down and 3. All kinds of time. Throw almost intercepted. Almost intercepted by Damian Wright. Redshirt freshman out of Sumter.
That boy had that ball in his hands, didn't he? All he had to do was come down with the catch.
And another penalty. This one's on Carolina. That'll give him a first down. A face mask penalty, of all things. Wow.
As you can see, there's some coaches now on the field that you don't normally see. They've come down from the box. Coach Spurrier Jr. is right there with the white hat next to Coach Spurrier. He's a wide receivers coach, and he does a great job of being on the same page as his father.
Another pass play for the Blue Raiders falls incomplete. That will mercilessly stop the clock at 32 seconds remaining in this game. 52-7. It's been all Gamecocks.
Second and 10.
Blake Mitchell,
46.
incidentally, finishes 21 of 28, 388 yards, 4 touchdowns, no INTs, along of 52. And one of the more underrated stats, Blake Mitchell is now 9-6 as a starter for the Gamecocks. And he'll try to make it 10-6 next week. Carolina and Clemson from Death Valley. On second down, another handoff up the middle. 9 more yards. That could be the last play of the game. It's pretty much up to the Blue Raiders whether or not they want to get one more off. 12 Gamecock seniors will celebrate their final home game as a victory. Steve Spurrier and Rick Stockstill, two men that know each other very well, shake hands, and both teams will get ready for what will be their biggest games of the year, and bowl implications on the line for each one as well. It's been our pleasure to give you live coverage of Gamecock football today. We'll take a timeout. Carolina wins it 52-7 here on CSS. Great day for the Gamecocks. Dominating victory over a dangerous Middle Tennessee State team. 52-7 the final score as Carolina racks up 545 yards of total offense. And Josh, this game got off to an inauspicious start for Carolina, giving up a touchdown on the first play, then fumbling on the first drive. But from that point on, it was all Gamecocks.
That's right, Mike. And Middle Tennessee, like you said, came out and really showed that they could come to play, but Carolina really came out and regained momentum and took the ball and got in the end zone a lot of times.
Josh, it's been a pleasure to work with you, my man. broke you in.
Thank you.
Had
I
a lot of
appreciate
fun
it.
with you, and of course the rest of our crew, JJ Zuckety, the director, Gary McCullough, the producer, Brian Burnett on stats, Eric, the intern, the spotter. Great crew all year long. It's been a lot of fun, folks. We'll see you next time on CSS.